I'm not the same Brooklyn you knew.
Jurassic World Chaos Theory Season 2 ended in a way that teased us a third season is on the way. With the success of Camp Cretaceous, I am sure that we'll see something exciting around the corner. But the cliffhanger for Season 2 ended in such a way that left us wondering, what happens next? Well, with a lot of information at hand for when Chaos Theory takes place, it's relatively easy to work out where Brooklyn and Soyona are heading to in the next season of the show. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Jurassic World Chaos Theory video. I hope you've all been enjoying the interesting and informative content here on the channel lately. I've really been trying my best to bring you as many videos as possible so that you guys have lots of Chaos Theory content to feast into before the third season. So if you're wanting more from me, then be sure you show your support by subscribing and help us hit 250,000 subscribers by the end of the year. It helps you and it helps me, so why not? But for now, you're wanting to hear about where Jurassic World Chaos Theory heads next, as a highly anticipated third season is around the corner. So make sure you settle down and grab some snacks, as it's time to find out where Brooklyn and Soyona are heading to in Jurassic World Chaos Theory Season 3. So right at the very end of Jurassic World Chaos Theory Season 2, we saw Brooklyn turning her back on her friends. However, we do know that this is only so that she can investigate further what's going on between Biosyn and Soyona Santos. In my Ending Explained video, we basically said how the look on Brooklyn's face changed once she found out that Soyona Santos and Biosyn are working together. At this point, she realized that there's more to this story and she needs to go and find it out. However, she doesn't want to bring her friends into the danger, therefore she turned her back on them, and unfortunately it was unwillingly. So the scene continues and we see Brooklyn and Soyona fly off into the sun, leaving the campers bewildered and wondering what happens now. And it left a lot of the fans thinking the exact same thing. What happens now? We see Brooklyn going with Soyona and she doesn't reunite with her campmates in the way that we initially thought. Therefore, something big has to take place. So since we know that Soyona Santos did confirm that there is a deal with her and Biosyn, we suspect that this bleeds into the events of Jurassic World Dominion. As we know, in Jurassic World Dominion, Soyona Santos was the broker, not just for the Atrociraptors, but working with Biosyn, she was the broker for Maisie Lockwood. So whilst this deal with Biosyn could confirm that it might be something to do with shipping Maisie over from the United States to Malta and then to Italy, there is one line that happened in Jurassic World Dominion that many people have been asking about for a very long time now. What happened last time? While Soyona Santos is in a vehicle, she's on the phone to Lewis Dodson and she says that she doesn't want a repeat of what happened last time, and we never found out what this event might be. So we are really hoping that in Chaos Theory we will finally get some kind of explanation regarding this, and with the confirmation that Soyona Santos is confirmed with a deal with Biosyn, and we know that Brooklyn is with her and the campers will probably follow, we have something to suspect that with Dodson already appearing in Camp Cretaceous, something happens here that involves all of these campers in Italy. So with this being said, and with also confirmation that Ben's girlfriend is supposedly Italian, a lot is adding up to the country of Italy. And as we know, that's where Biosyn resides in the Dolomites. So for the sake of this discussion, let's suspect that they are arriving in Italy. If they arrive at the Biosyn facility, there is a strong possibility that they could meet Ramsey Cole, who was introduced in Jurassic World Dominion, as I highly doubt that they'll go ahead and throw Dodson in with many scenes. Now of course, just saying that Ramsey Cole will appear just because he worked at Biosyn doesn't really have too much evidence behind it, it's just a good idea. However, in an article by comicbookmovie.com, they discuss with Scott Creamer, the executive producer of Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous and Chaos Theory, about the opportunity of bringing in another person from the movies, and this is what Scott had to say. I don't want to get into spoiler territory, but yeah, I mean, there is. There's a lot of great characters in the film that, you know, we'd love to get in. Again, it has to make sense with our characters, and it also has to make sense within the films as well. We don't want suddenly, like our characters can't be in a scene that would have been in the movie, or something like that. we've always tried to see things from, going back to Camp Cretaceous, whether it's Masrani's helicopter crashing in the Avery, or the guy in the yellow jacket getting eaten by the Mosasaurus. We like telling the story from a different point of view, but to answer your question, yeah, there's a bunch of characters I'd love to appear in the show. So that right there reminds me of something that he said back for season 4 interviews for Camp Cretaceous, and he said something very similar. He didn't want to get into spoiler territory, there are many characters from the movies that I would love to bring in, and eventually in season 5 of Camp Cretaceous, we did get Lewis Dodson. So, with him saying something very similar, I believe this is some kind of soft confirmation here that we may be seeing somebody from the movies appear in Jurassic World Chaos Theory Season 3 and beyond. Now, there is an opportunity it may be Lewis Dodson once again if they are heading to Biosyn, and we know that connection with Soyona and Dodson exists, but I feel as though this is a great opportunity for Ramsey Cole to also appear, as we do know his actor, Mamadou Ache, did voice his character in the Jurassic World Evolution 2 video game. And with Soyona Santos' Ditchen Lockman also returning to voice her character, I think there is a good opportunity here that Mamadou Ache will be reprising his role as Ramsey Cole. After all, he was one of the more interesting characters from Jurassic World Dominion, especially for a new character. I really hope we get to see him return to the franchise once again, because to me, his character holds a lot of importance to the wider world of Jurassic. So that's why I believe they are initially going to Biosyn Sanctuary in Italy. However, this interview also got me thinking a lot more. We know that eventually in the timeline, with Jurassic World Chaos Theory only taking place 1 month before Jurassic World Dominion, Soyona Santos has to be at the events of Malta. She is there with the Atrociraptors, she is selling them off to get them shipped to Riyadh in Saudi Arabia. So since we know that eventually they have to be in Malta, Scott Creamer says in this interview that he imagines Brooklyn would be with Soyona Santos there as well. Yeah, well, I mean, again, the kids are sort of left like, wow, 1, Brooklyn's alive, and 2, she just turned her back on us and left us with the bad guy. So, like I was saying before, everyone's going to be feeling a different kind of way about that. And I would imagine it would really cause some dramatic shifts in the relationships in the camp fam. And as Brooklyn is going with Soyona Santos, like you said, we know where she is headed. So, I would like to imagine that Brooklyn's going to be there with her as well. Or be with her on the way there, Again, Brooklyn's not in Dominion, but she is definitely with Santos now. So hopefully we'll get the runaway to keep telling this story. So that right there is soft confirmation to me at least, that to some degree Brooklyn is going to be involved with the events of Malta. Again, Scott Creamer might be just diverting our attention away from this information and just makes us theorize and speculate just a little bit more, exactly what I'm doing right now. But it is nonetheless very interesting when an executive producer does get asked a question like this and they don't answer it directly. Is it managing expectations? Is it trying to avoid a spoiler? We don't know. But here on the channel we like to theorize and we like to be positive. So to me, I like to think that there is currently a scene out there, whether that's in season 3 of Chaos Theory or maybe season 4, that Soyona Santos arrives in Malta, and so does Brooklyn, possibly even the campers as well. So whilst we do think initially they'll be going to Biosyn in Italy, I think eventually they'll be heading to Malta. This was also teased in season 2 of the show as well, as we can see that there is a flight going from the United States to Malta, and this is how we suspect that the Atrociraptors are being flown out. But how could they make something like this work? Well, in the previous comment from Scott Creamer that I said initially in this video, he did go on to confirm that they like to do their connections with Jurassic World, such as the Masrani helicopter falling into the Avery. They like to do their connections with Fallen Kingdoms, such as the Mosasaurus eating Jack. So what could they do with Jurassic World Dominion? Well, in Jurassic World Dominion, we do see there is some kind of stakeout watching the operation unfold, and we can see that Barry and Owen are hidden somewhere watching Soyona Santos talk to these people trying to move the Atrociraptors. Perhaps we could get a scene very similar where Brooklyn is hiding and watching this event unfold as well, and we get to see this little mini shootout take place from a different perspective, and then we see Brooklyn trying to survive, and everywhere that she explores is essentially off camera from what we see. We may even see her watching Owen Grady on the motorcycle drive past her as the Atrociraptors follow her down. That is something that would be really, really cool. So with the possibility of another connection happening like this means that while I do presume there's a chance we could see them initially arrive in Italy in the Dolomites for Biosyn Sanctuary, I do also believe that they'll also eventually be arriving at Malta to coincide with the events of Jurassic World Dominion. After all, he did confirm in my interview with him a few months ago that they were not given the green light to go beyond Jurassic World Dominion, so it has to end within Jurassic World Dominion in my opinion. So there you have it. At this point, I am 90% certain that Soyona Santos and Brooklyn are flying off to Biosyn firstly to arrange the deal and possibly explain what happened last time that was mentioned in Jurassic World Dominion by Soyona Santos herself towards Lewis Dodson. It was something many people wanted to know about as it's a quick line shrouded in mystery. And then, once she sorts out her deal with Dodson, her and Brooklyn will fly on over to Malta to possibly finalize the events of Chaos Theory there. We may even get a different perspective on that brief shootout we got in the movie too. Maybe Brooklyn is hiding and watching the events unfold the same way Barry and Owen were in Dominion. What a cool way to have it connect all together. If that interests you, then be sure to stay tuned here on the channel by subscribing, as we cover all things to do with the Jurassic franchise. If you think I deserve it, why not also leave a like on the video as well? Don't forget to comment your thoughts below, but most importantly, make sure you're all staying safe out there, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye. Hello, hi, you, did you enjoy the video? Just a little reminder to press that like button and also subscribe. I just want to thank my Patreons for this month on screen right here, as giving me that little extra support really does go a long way. But anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day.